We're in Aggie land. You know, I had some days in this stadium. It gets pretty damn loud in here.
Vince Young breaks free, still going. Midfield, still on his feet. They can't stop him.
I wish I had an opportunity to play some Johnny Manziel. Well, that would have been nice.
Manziel complete. Manziel. They'll never catch him. Johnny Manziel. Touchdown, Texas A&M.
Welcome back to Glory Days, an Almost Friday Media Original. I'm Johnny Manziel. We're doing things a little bit differently. I'm having one of my idols come on the pod, a guy that really inspired me to play the game of football. And I think, this interview had to happen in the great state of Texas. A Texas legend, a national champion, one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time, my guy, Vince Young. Thanks for coming on, my brother. I appreciate you. Me and you have had a good relationship for a while, so to finally be able to sit down and make this happen is obviously really cool. I think my football career, and thinking back about it, obviously started, a lot with how you played the game, how you were, and, to be able to still continue to have a relationship we've had throughout the years is really dope. So I guess just kind of start off, how's it feel to be back in College Station a little bit, obviously enemy turf a little bit, but.
Yeah, being back in Aggie land and to come support you, your show, man, I'm truly honored, man. I really do appreciate, the respect that you give me throughout, our years of playing this game that we love. I catch a lot of your interviews, and we always see each other at a game or somewhere, golf somewhere, and, I'm always truly honored to be around you. So I just wanted to say that.
Of course, appreciate you. So what'd you think of, obviously, the rivalry coming back, the, Texas A&M game? What'd you think about it this year? Obviously, you guys, get back on the winning side of things.
It's fun, man. I mean, that's what it's all about, the rivalry game. I mean, that's why you went to A&M. That's why you went to Texas for this game. And to have family members in your family that went to A&M, to hear people talk about it in Austin and Houston, how everybody excited about it, and, how the game went. I mean, it was unbelievable, the experience that I saw. Even though I didn't make it to the game, I was watching it on TV in my bed, old man virus. But at the same time, I'm happy it's back because there's a lot of history, and to have that bragging rights, for a whole year, it's always fun to go back and forth with an Aggie.
Yeah, I think the game deserves to be back. It's obviously it's better for the state of Texas. It's better for
Definitely.
Everybody around to have this game back and this rivalry back, especially at the end of the year, and especially when two teams are get back to trying to do something that hasn't been done there since you were in school.
Finally, I mean, we went through some coaches, Coach Strong, Tom Herman. I mean, it's been a while, and finally got a coach, the Coach Stark, that understands the chemistry, understands the environment of UT football. And not only is he doing good with the guys on the football field, but he's also doing great with the guys off the field. These guys are graduating early, things like that, making great moves, meeting a lot of successful alumni in the business world, with this NIL stuff. These guys riding around in Ferraris and stuff. So, I'm happy that they're not getting distracted, because you can't get distracted, and that's when your season will go down the drain when you get distracted.
I think that's something, obviously, you have to have a good base and a good program of guys leading the way to keep kids from getting there. I mean, for guys even like us, sometimes when you even get into the NFL and you get into your first couple years, it's easy to get distracted when you finally start to get some real money and are able to be in those kind of environments. So as we take it back to your story a little bit, as you get to campus, how was it on that kind of rise, on that grind, to be able to get to the point where you're finally seeing the field, you're getting on, and you're finally turning it into the starter?
Well, I can honestly say Coach Brown did, he make you red shirt. So that was good for me to travel, to understand how to travel.
It is a big thing having that redshirt year and kind of seeing how the whole operation works.
Right, and it was tough
as it is to not play.
Yeah, oh my God, because you got guys like Selvin Young, guys that came in with me, they playing. I'm like, damn, I want to play. But you got Chris Sims there, you got Chance Mott, you got guys in the head of you, so you got to wait your turn. But also you got to be a backup. What do you call it? The red shirt quarterback for the defense. You got to, there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that a young guy don't know. I mean, a lot of young guys are playing now, but back in the day, Coach Brown, he wanted you to sit back and learn. And, watching Chris Sims and, going down to Lubbock, and they beat us, and they stormed the field, and they calling him Chrissy. I'm like, I don't do not want none of that from smoke when I get a chance to play. So that I feel like that experience, redshirting, I think it helped me out a lot to mature for one, also to understand what's going on and how to be and how big it is to be a quarterback at the University of Texas.
How was it when you got that first opportunity to obviously get that first start and be the guy and run out onto that field? I know. When being a quarterback for big time, Texas kids getting a chance to play for big time Texas universities, when you finally get that first opportunity to, do your thing and get on the field, it's a little bit of a dream come true situation for sure.
Shit, I was nervous as hell. I couldn't even get plays out my mouth when I was in the huddle. It was a scary moment for me. It was great to get my feet wet. I think Coach let me come in, I think the New Mexico State game towards the end, to hear the roar, the standing ovation from the crowd, to throw my first pass to Sloan Thomas, to get a couple of touchdown runs. I felt like, okay, I can do this. It gave me confidence in myself. But it was unbelievable to run out the smoke down the hill, to watch Bevo run behind Bevo, and to get that first start. I mean, it was a dream come true.
As you look back on those times, you guys have a, bowl game against Michigan. Can you break down that game-winning drive a little bit, how that was, and really starting to come into your own a little bit?
Yeah, that year was, actually we almost messed up that whole year. We almost lost to Kansas in Kansas. And so we sitting at home, everybody, and they do the BCS bowl pick. Everybody's at home on the phone like, man, I don't think we have a chance. We're going to go to a little, BS bowl or something, the holiday bowl like we used to go to all the time because we used to lose to OU every year. So we were sitting at home and we thinking it's going to be Cal and Michigan, because they had the better, record and everything. So we was like, we're not going to have a chance. And then, bing, our name go across. We all start screaming and hollering and going crazy. And we finna play Michigan. And I'm like, to the history and tradition of both schools, man, it's like this is about to be big at the granddaddy of them all, Rose Bowl. So off that top, I'm already nervous, So now I'm like, let's go be a leader. Let's go get the guys. Let's go to practice. Let's get ourselves ready for this. So to play that game against Burlington Edwards, Ted Hennon, you got the who's playing on that football team. It was a tough game, fought to the finish, But the good part about us, we've been in those situations throughout the year, comeback wins. So when it happened, we kind of felt like we've been in this position before. All we got to do is finish. And then Coach called field goal. I'm like, what? You going to put it in the kicker's hand? But Dustin Mangum, he made the field goal, thank God. But back in the day, I was like, nah, Coach, give it to me.
No doubt.
Give the ball to your X Factor.
You never want the ball out of your hands at that point in time, for
Especially
sure.
what you've been seeing lately.
Yeah.
In pros and college. Oh, my God, my field goal guys got to do better.
So going into the offseason, you obviously had to have an even higher level of confidence and expectation going into the junior year and really ready to try and, make a run at it.
Well, actually, guys came in kind of smelling themselves. So, I don't know if you heard this story, but man, Coach Brown talk about it. I do. A lot of guys do. A lot of guys came into a team meeting room like, Coach got rules about when you step in the team meeting room, you can't have earrings, can't have a hat on, pants need to be up, shirts need to be tucked in. You got to come in respect. And guys came totally the opposite. Sideways. So Coach talking, and I just raised my hand. Because I'm watching guys come in, and I'm like, okay, these guys feeling themselves because we just won, the Michigan game. And I'm like, in my mind, like, we ain't done yet. Like, that wasn't a championship game. That was a BCS game, which is a big step.
Of course.
Because we never, Coach Brown never played in a BCS game. So guys came in smelling themselves. So I took an initiative to raise my hand, like, Coach, can I say something? Coach was like, sure. I said, I just want to say, Coach, God, that everybody's coming in here feeling themselves and disrespecting your rules. I see, and I start calling out people's names directly. I see such and such got his earrings in. I see what's his name with his hat turned. I see such and such with his shirt tucked in. And I don't feel like these guys understand, like, that was just one game. We trying to go to the championship this year. So I said that, and then I went and wrote on the board, like, if you want to go beat Ohio State or go to the national championship, meet me on the field at 7 o'clock tonight. the whole team showed up. So I called out everybody to let them know, like, hold up now. You know, like, slow down. We ain't did shit yet. Don't be smelling yourself yet. That's how you get your butt whooped.
That's one of those things, being second in the country to kind of start that season. You come in, you're obviously, you know, riding high off the year before, but to really come in and set the tone the way that you guys need to eliminate the distractions you know you're going to have. You know you're going to go through that season and face a little bit of adversity. You have to, you know, you had to be a cohesive unit to be able to go through and make a run like you want to get to where you want to go.
And Mad Dog, our strength coach, he's sitting there watching too. So I'm like, y'all finna piss off Mad Dog?
That guy was crazy.
Exactly. So you know he'll run.
I remember seeing him on recruiting visits.
You know he finna run a mess out of us because he see y'all coming here with y'all earrings on. So every time somebody, you know, breaks the rules, I'm extra laps. I ain't trying to do no extra laps. I ain't running anyway.
As that season kind of starts, you guys are 2, and obviously USC coming in at 1. Was there you know, a thought in your head that this could maybe come down to a matchup like that, or you just guys had to kind of go take care of business to even see how things were going to play out?
We was watching them the whole year. I mean, we had a TV everywhere. Like, what USC doing? What USC doing? And we was warning because we want to play the best, you know, and they obviously was the best for, you know, the last 3 seasons, you know. So that's who we wanted to play. So we had USC just about everywhere in the locker room. You know, we wanted to make sure, like, well, if if they do this, would you do this? You know, making sure everybody stay focused on the bigger picture. So that's who we wanted to play, and we set that aim for them. We was really about to get pissed when they almost lost to Notre Dame. Yeah. We was like, we don't want to play no damn Notre Dame. We want to play them guys right there.
You guys obviously, you know, 7-0. You're going against the Oklahoma State team. This is a game that I still remember to this day. But, you know, down 28-12 at half, you know, that's kind of that point of where that adversity finally starts to strike a little bit. You know, you're going to have those games where it's just not clicking all the way and not making sense. But, you know, to be able to pull that one off and obviously flip a little bit of a switch had to be a huge turning point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, every year we play Oklahoma State, we always down like that every year. I don't know, it was like some hex or jinx or something. I don't know what it was, but even in Austin, you know, we started, but that game right there, I think we was down like 28-7 or something, 10 or something, and we went in the locker room and Coach came out to, you know, to talk to us. I was like, Coach, we got it. We didn't want to hear that. We turned our music on, and we got ourselves ready. And the only thing he said, they better not score another touchdown. So the defense, they took an initiative to that. Like, what, Coach? They bet not, or I'm going to run you or do something to you when we get back. And they ain't scored another point. So, you know, that game almost, again, messed up our whole season because we was, you know, number 1 at the time, and then USC went to 2. And then we ended up going back down to 2, and they put them back at 1. So you know how that BS be.
Football season is back, and my partner Underdog wants to make it a lot more exciting for you. Join the millions of fans who played on Underdog last year. With their Pick'em game, you can win up to 1,000 times your money by making sports picks. It's time to turn those takes into cash by going higher or lower on player stats, like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and plenty more to choose from. Submit entries including NFL, college football, or mix and match across your other favorite sports to win big. Here are my money picks of the week. Underdog is available in 30-plus states, including California, Florida, Texas, and even Canada. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now and deposit using promo code Johnny to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick. Throughout this run, as you guys are going through this, and you start looking at the way that you're playing, did you start looking at obviously maybe making a run to New York, being in the Heisman conversation, and was that
not really? You know me, and you know yourself as well. I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. We don't think about that. If that happens, that's a blessing. And the Heisman to me is a team award anyway. So I wanted to because you got Ricky Williams and Earl Campbell, and it hasn't been a while. And I felt like Colt McCoy should have won it. He didn't even win it, but I wanted to bring that trophy back home to Austin, Texas. It didn't happen, and obviously Reggie Bush was the outstanding player that he is, electrifying guy, and he won it that year. I was pissed. I was upset, man. I actually cried that whole Heisman Trophy event. I didn't even want to do the media after. Yeah. But John Bianco, our PR guy, my guy, I call him, he was like, you got to do it. You got to be a professional. You got to be humble. Go in there and let them know how you feel. And I actually went off. And then I called my teammate, Rivalry. I said, man, get the guys together. Let's go to South California, and let's get this win. So
I think that obviously had to add a little bit of motivation going into, the big matchup that you guys had. I mean,
yeah, I was pissed.
If you look back at that season, though, I mean, you guys you had two, unbelievable, college football seasons. Obviously going into the Rose Bowl game, that's your way to be able to get, a little bit of revenge in your eyes and show that, you were equally one of the best, players in the country going into that game and obviously coming out victorious.
Yeah, I mean, because, up to the week of that game, the USC was being compared to, like, the Oklahoma teams and, all the top teams back in the day, and they wasn't even giving us no love. It was kind of like we was just there. They already, like, knew who was going to win. If you notice, it's a picture out there that got USC winning the game at the end, but we ended up winning. They was bringing out USC shirts and everything. Like, damn, that's how y'all feel? They didn't know they had a guy on number 10. Was a bad Bama jammer.
No doubt.
Was, like, determined to bring that trophy back home to Texas. So, and I can honestly say they can blame a lot of that on their fans because we was, out and about doing all the events and stuff. And one guy was like, Vince, you suck. You ain't gonna do shit. It's gonna be an ambulance parked in the tunnel for your ass. Actually, it was too. So I'm like, he knows some people. So when he did that, it kind of pissed me off some more because I already lost the Heisman and then they talking shit. So I told the guys, like, we're not going to no more events. I said, Coach Brown, we're going to just focus and get ready. Because we basically in their hometown, and everybody across the country felt like they was going to win that game. But they didn't understand they pissed us off a lot.
As you go through that game and it kind of plays itself out and you get that opportunity, it's one of those, movie-like scenario situations where you get a chance to get the ball back and obviously driving down and you get to that last play. As you relive that a little bit, how does that play in your mind to this day? Can you just describe kind of, what was going on? Obviously, you taking off. Was there a thought you were going to throw it? Did you think, I'm running this, or this is one of those things on kind of how it kind of played out?
As you look back at it, man, I was chill. Actually, Matthew McConaughey still to this day talk about it like, why were you dancing at the biggest moment in your life? I was like, I was trying to stay loose because once you go in there nervous, that's how you mess up. So. At that moment, that whole drive, before the drive started, I'm on the sideline dancing and trying to get everybody, to stay loose. So when we do start, don't try to, change anything. Don't try to be Superman or anything like that. Just go through what we've been doing for the whole entire season. So, when that play happened, man, I was thinking about getting the first down. I was actually looking for David Thomas to get the first. To keep the clock running so we don't give them guys no much time to do what they do. So actually, I was looking for the first down. But they ran a weak side blitz and dropped the end. And all I saw was green. And what I always say, run, Forrest, run.
No doubt. Like in that moment, as you get through the end zone, how big of a moment that is for yourself, for your school, for everything. It probably doesn't set in for a little while afterwards. But, as you're getting mobbed on the sideline over there and you take down a dynasty in college football with just an unbelievable game like that, it's kind of got to set in a little bit of making history.
Well, I mean, one of the things Coach Brown always say, act like you've been there. Thank God I didn't throw the football in the stands because I didn't know we was going for two. And then when I was on that sideline, it's like you just said, like your whole experience of getting to that moment flashed in front of you from your high school days, riding Metro, working at the movie theater, working at Just for Feet that they don't even have no more. Doing all that, working out during the mornings and then going to work, to help, with my mom with bills and all the grind through college to be at that moment and to be the quarterback of that team at that moment. Man, I was just in shock. I couldn't even move. I don't know if you saw that video. I just held on to the ball and I was just like in shock. I was like, man, this just really happened. So it was a crazy moment for me because, like I said, I mean, I worked my butt off to get to that moment, and it happened. And all that hard work I put in, heartaches and pain that I went through, the adversity with my moms and strung out on drugs and being poor. And I mean, a lot of stuff went through my mind at that moment. And I was just a happy guy to bring that championship and win that game for the entire state of Texas.
It's obviously awesome to hear, you know, being thankful for the journey and everything that it took to be able to get to that point. You know, it's never a, you know, overnight thing. There's definitely a lot that went into it to be able to do that. And
a lot of bumps and bruises.
No doubt. Glory Days is brought to you by cbdMD. Millions of people experience burnout daily, leading to stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights. I've been there. Whether I was getting beat up on the football field or exhausted from a brutal day of practice, I was looking forward to ways to relax and unwind. Luckily, cbdMD has a product for everything. Visit cbdMD to explore their full range of products. They're all expertly formulated to help you feel your best. And, as always, you can use promo code Johnny for 30% off, plus free shipping at cbdMD.com. They've got Delta 9 gummies, CBD roll-on for athletes, focus gummies, sleep gummies, you name it. Visit cbdMD.com to explore their extensive range of products and find the perfect solution for your needs. Again, that's code Johnny at checkout to get 30% off plus free shipping. Now let's get back to the episode. For you, top 5 college quarterbacks, you know, of all time.
Oh,
I could
wow.
probably give you mine as well, but let's see what VY's list is.
Me.
I love it.
I'm going to stay with that one.
I love it.
me. I'm going to stay with that one because, man, it's a whole list of them, man. And it's crazy that people don't even talk about them.
It's easy when you have guys coming in, you know, every single year, but, you know, I look back at it now, you know, VY will very much always be on a top 5, any top 5 list for me of college quarterbacks, and what you did for the game obviously inspired me to, you know, want to be a dual threat guy. It's funny to hear you sit up here today and say at times, you know, you wanted to be a pocket passer, or, you know, they were trying to make you into a pocket passer throughout your career and stuff, because, you know, my favorite memories of obviously watching you play are sometimes where you know, did a lot with your legs and being able to take off and do what you do best.
It's all about winning, baby.
No doubt. I had Lindell White come on the pod, and, you know, he obviously spoke about your guys' relationship a little bit and how
2-5
welcoming you were when you guys saw each other following that national championship game. You know, was it always mutual respect for those guys? And the USC guys obviously had been around Reggie a little bit for the Heisman and stuff.
Yeah, so I had an opportunity to really meet him and hang out with him. Was at the Combine in Indianapolis. And me and Lindell, we kind of hit it off. I think we was roommates. We was roommates there, and we was roommates at the Rookie Symposium in the NFL as well. So, you know, me and Lindell hit it off. I love this vibe, the type of guy he is. He's funny. You don't know what's finna come out his mouth. So you just got to be ready and prepared for it. But the way his heart is, though, you know, the guy is like, he'll do anything for you, you know. And to have a relationship with him, not just him, but, you know, Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, like we keep in contact with each other, check on each other. You know, for that magnitude of that type of game, you'll think that we're not supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be enemies for the rest of our lives. But actually, we boys. And then me and Lindell played together in Tennessee, and we really hit it off as brothers. So I have a tremendous respect for him, man, the way he carries himself, the way he's silly as hell, and he don't give a damn.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He don't give 2 fucks. So
play against this USC team. You play against Reggie, and you know, then and now. You know, Reggie spoke recently about, you know, it got to a point where when they took his Heisman away, they obviously offered it to you. I always thought it was, you know, unbelievably like upstanding of you to be like, listen, you know, he won this trophy fair and square. It's not for me to come back years later and obviously have this, you know, bestowed upon me. But, you know, it's obviously been given back to Reggie now. You know, what did you think of that, and how's your guys' relationship, you know, throughout the years?
Well, I mean, that year, with the last couple of years, he was that guy, you know. I mean, I did do my thing as well, and I didn't win it, you know, fair and square, you know. But in the same time, like, you know, that's just how I'm raised, man. Yeah. You know, I'm a Southern guy. We respect people, period, until you're not supposed to be respected. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you got it. But guys like Reggie, I hit it off with Reggie a long time ago, you know, and I have, utmost respect for him since that day. So when they called me about it, like, Vance, you know, we want to give you the Heisman. I'm like, what? You can't renege.
Yeah. I think probably a lot of people in that situation, though, might have been like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely people out there that would have always thought it said a lot about you and about your character to be able to be like, listen, this was in the past, and obviously, thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and he earned it and won it fair and square. So, I thought the Heisman should go to him, even though I wanted to bring that thing home so bad. But, it didn't happen. So, again, he was the winner of it.
Obviously, there was a lot of news about him getting it back. It was obviously, something I thought that was right for him to be able to get back and be able to welcome him kind of back into the Heisman fraternity a little bit.
I mean, he deserved it. He earns it. And, I mean, it's horrible that the NCAA and all these stuff these guys do. I mean, when we was in college, man, it's crazy. Y'all making millions off our name and likeness. And not saying he was guilty of what things he did, but at the same time, he earned it. He deserved it, So, you shouldn't have took it from him in the first place.
As that, game kind of ends, you get a chance to go back a little bit. You're obviously thinking then, it's your time to make that next leap and make that jump and go to the NFL, or, is there a chance you're thinking about maybe?
Well, I mean, the Texans had the number 1 pick, so
you're trying to go home.
I want to play at home. So I sat and I had a prayer with my pastor. He was there at the game, and then Steve was there. I'm like, Steve, what you think, big guy? He said, man, you better get up out of here, man. I said, dang. I said, all right. And then, I thought I had a possibility of, playing for my hometown team. And, down the line now, I found out that they didn't want me because they ain't like my agent. I'm like, what? You could have told me that. I would have fired his ass and hired the agent you like.
Whoever you wanted.
Exactly. Just for me to play at home. But, everything happens for a reason. And, Bud Adams, watched me since I was a kid growing up in Houston. So, being the owner of the Houston Oilers and then taking the team to Memphis first and then Tennessee, he seen me as a kid in high school. So he was a big fan. And a lot of people was upset. Fisher was mad. They wanted Matt Leinart because USC history. They both went to USC, so I get it. But, when you got the owner on your side, so the first thing came to my mind, I'm like, this can be good or bad, which I was a fan of Fisher. I was a fan of Oilers since I was a kid. So to have opportunity to play for them, it was another kind of dream come true. Even though I didn't get to play at Houston, but I also got to play for the original Oilers football team.
You're probably a little bit of disappointment as that draft's kind of going on and it doesn't end up being Houston. But, were you expecting to go to the Titans, or is it kind of something you knew going into it? But you're obviously, I talked about being excited about being able to play for original Oilers franchise, but was it something you were expecting to do, or?
No, I didn't really know at all. When you sit in that green room, anything can happen that green room. So I really didn't know. I know I had a good interview with Coach Fisher and the Titans. I know they went well, but I didn't know what was going to happen. So, and I'm still thinking that I'm about to get picked by the, Houston Texans, but I'm over here playing PlayStation Madden with Mario Williams the night before. They come whisper in his ear like, you going to the Houston Texans? I'm like, oh, shit. He got drafted the night before the draft even started. I'm like, dang. So once I found that out, I was a little hurt that night. I went back to the hotel, and I was kind of like, dang. So I don't know where I'm finna go. And I know the Raiders had an interest. Al Davis had a major interest in me. So I'm like, okay, I might go to the Raiders then, which I wanted to go play in that black and silver. Which that jersey is, still to this day, I love that jersey. Now, Michael Huff, I'm mad at him that he had got that pick that year, but I actually didn't know where the hell I was finna go. Because after the Houston Texans picked him, I'm thinking I still had a shot. But once they said that, I'm like, oh, it's up in the air now.
How was that initial, transition from college to the NFL? Was it something that was smooth for you? Was it something that, obviously had a little bit of growing pains, but, you strung together some good wins that season. And obviously, I think people don't understand how hard it is to consistently go out and win in the NFL and what you have to do and how little the margin of errors are to be able to actually come out and win games.
Well, everybody look at you as a winner. So they like, oh, you finna go do it in the pros too, which I did do a little bit of it. But, that first week I did like a event with John McClain, and we was kind of like us doing a Q&A in front of like a lot of our sponsors for the Titans. And he was like, the Titans just went 4-12 this year. You know you're going to be going up to another losing season again. I'm like, what? Well, I'm from, we winners, homeboy.
That's not even in your mindset.
It's not even in my mindset that we finna lose. So obviously we came out, Kerry Collins, with Billy Volick, and then they trade for Kerry Collins, and we 0-5. I'm like, damn, John McClain must know what he's talking about. We 0-5. Then we go 0-6. And then Coach Fisher called me like, Vince, we're gonna make you the starter. And we was playing the Cowboys. And I was like, man, it was like, damn, this happened all over again, like just in college. You know, so first of all, shout out to Coach Brown for knowing what he's talking about, because I felt like I was kind of red-shirting for the first 6 games and learning how to travel, how to be a professional NFL quarterback. So I was watching Kerry Collins, which somebody to definitely look up to. You know, Kerry Collins did a lot in his years of playing football from Penn State all the way up to, you know, what he did. So to have an opportunity to watch him, to watch film with him, you know, bump questions, how he asks questions to our offensive coordinator and our quarterback coach, you know, I had an opportunity to learn some stuff. So it wasn't too bad, but I feel like Coach Brown in that redshirt year kind of helped me out to understand that you need to sit back and learn a little bit before they throw you in the fire. Because once you get out there, you know, it's no looking back, which I did. And we ended up losing against Cowboys, but I think we went 8-8. After I lost to the Cowboys, I didn't lose another game to that last game against Tom Brady. He got me. We needed to win that game to go to the playoffs, but we was playing the big guy, and I threw a damn pick. Samuel, pick God. You know, shout out to my boy Samuel, man, young punk. He picked me off, and we lost that game. But I think that year, you know, motivated me to know that I can do it.
Still has to be able to give you some confidence after having a year like that, and a season like that.
Because it's not hard to play. It's not easy to play in the pros.
No doubt.
Because a lot of people, I tell these young quarterbacks that I mentor, I'm like, man, when you get to the pros, you already know the players are good. But now you got to understand, study the defensive coordinator. Now, that's who we playing against now. What is his tendencies on third down? This is what he does on third down. This is what he do on second down. So we had to get, you know, better at knowing who the defensive coordinator was. So that stuff helped me out looking at Kerry Collins, you know, stuff like that.
That's just something you don't get when you're at the college level. That you just don't.
No, it's different. I mean, it was a kid I met that was underneath Belichick. So, you know, every year after you lose in the playoffs or whatever, everybody goes to Vegas to party. So I'm at party with him. It's Donovan McNabb, Chris Johnson. I mean, the who's, we all at rehab, the big pool party. We enjoying life. I mean, having a blast. And this little kid come up to me like, Vince, I'm such and such. I work for Belichick with the New England Patriots. You know how much, they pay me to watch film on you. And he said, I'm going to give you a little something. He says, when you're in your stands underneath the center, you rock. And right when you snap the ball, you stop. I was like, what? So I go back and watch film on myself. And so, no, I'm rocking. And before I snap the ball, I stop. So that mindset right there tells me, like, damn, I need to get up out this club and I need to go get my ass to work.
The little things that you have to detail yourself on that other teams in the NFL.
Which I didn't know they had people to study you like that. So that was
obviously
amazing.
affects everything. Snap count, how they're going to get off, so much. Let's talk about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. You know, with the holidays coming up, I'm actually pretty excited. Doing some traveling, hanging out with my friends and family, but let's keep it real. This time of the year can get heavy too. Something that's helped me stay grounded, no matter what season it is therapy. Look, we're all just trying to do our best, and sometimes that's not easy. I get it. If you've been thinking about giving therapy a shot, BetterHelp makes it simple. It helped me learn better ways to cope with stuff and set boundaries, which, as we all know, can come in handy during the family holiday dinners. Between all the travel, planning, family time, and just figuring out holiday logistics, things get overwhelming real quick. Here's what's cool about BetterHelp. It's all online, so you can do it wherever works for you. They'll match you with a licensed therapist, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime at no extra cost. And listen, therapy isn't just for people going through major life stuff. It can help anyone level up and be their best self. You want to find some peace this holiday season? Head to BetterHelp.com/DAZE to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/daze. All right, now let's get back to the show. Playing for Jeff Fisher, what was he like as a coach? And, how did your relationship you had with your teammates, help you thrive in that first little stretch of your career there you had?
Yeah, Coach Fisher was different to the point like it was something I was never used to. Since my high school coach, middle school coach, little league coach, Coach Brown, they were straightforward with me. Sometimes he'll tell me something and then it'll be a total opposite. And it shocks me because we'll have a meeting, just me and him one-on-one, and then I go to the media and do my media for the day, and they're saying stuff to me that me and him talked about privately. So I was like, damn, so they hit me with questions like, well, how you even know that? You know what I mean? Like, so now I'm like, oh, okay. I got to start protecting myself, you know what I mean? I got to watch out some of the things I say. So to me, Coach was cool to a point because I was a big fan of him, but I thought he was more about himself, more than like Andy Reid is about the players. He a player coach. Coach McCarthy, a player coach. Some of the guys I was around was more invested in the players than about themselves. So when I played with him, I thought he was a little different. But
It's got to be hard having things come out like that, probably for the first time ever really in your career where you're, you see a little bit of a different side of the business, a little bit of the NFL and kind of how it goes and how that works.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for being him. A lot of times I tell myself at the time I was definitely immature, about a lot of the things, but, I forgave him. I mean, I wrote him a letter and everything, and I don't know if he even accepted it, but I wrote him a letter to apologize. A lot of stuff that I did immature, but I still wanted him to say the things that he made a mistake at, and he haven't still to this day. So he was cool to the point, but I felt like a lot of that stuff that I had to go through my career was, from him. What he was sending to the teams across the thing. So they already had a perception about me as soon as I stepped on the team. So I had to change the perception everywhere I went. I'm like, nah, that's totally not who I am. So when I got to different places, people started to figure out who I am. So, being in that locker room with my teammates in the Titans, man, I still got a great relationship with those guys now. Them guys was great. I mean, that was our dorm. Didn't nobody come in that locker room but the players. You wasn't even welcome as a coach in our locker room because it was about us. So a lot of those guys, I missed them a lot, and I still got a relationship to this day. And I'm just happy to see everybody doing well, man, doing great after football.
There's a little bit of a story going around that you weren't having much fun playing football at one point in time. That's something that I think that I can relate to. Obviously, when you're dealing with the media side of it, you're dealing with some stuff with the coach and then just life in itself. Did it get to a point where you think, it started to become a little less fun for you while you were there?
I got to the point like I was sick of the media. I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, it was so much hatred at the time. Like, and I never met these people before in my life, never seen them before. Even, what's his name? Mirages, whatever his name is. That dude used to get on my effing nerves, dude. And I seen him in person. I wanted to strangle his ass, but it took me a lot. But he actually came up to me and apologized to me. Like, Vince, I'm sorry about all the stuff that I did to you in the media, which gave me a relief because I'm like, first of all, who are y'all talking about? I'm not that guy y'all talking about. I would give anything to my teammates, players, coaches, fans across the world, and that's my brand. I felt like they was messing up my brand. So I had to go through that as a young man. And then when Steve passed away, I didn't have nobody to talk to. So I went in a dark spot, and I mean dark, to a point like, shit, I didn't know what to do. And it's not that I was going to give up, but a lot of times Sundays was my out, my scapegoat. Playing on Sundays with my teammates. That was the fun part. But Monday through Saturday, dude, you got to be the best athlete you can be, quarterback you can be, and then you got off the field stuff from family asking for money or this, that, or somebody stealing from you. It was a lot for me, and I was in a dark spot for like 2-3 years. I was in a dark spot, and thank God for some of the people that came into my life, and Andy Reid helped me through that process because Andy losing his son. He been through those dark spots, and losing a kid is that's a sad deal, and can't even imagine that situation. But for him to talk to me, not just as a player, but the way he talked to me as a human being and cared, I think that's when I started to feel a little better when I got to Philly.
I think when you can kind of separate and get away from that, media hype that you had a little bit in Tennessee, and then obviously getting to a place like that where you're around some, really solid people and a solid coach who, everybody talks about, who's heralded as a guy who, really, really helps you and is able to separate the two, the off the field stuff and the media stuff and everything else that goes into the struggle side, and just be able to help you.
Yeah.
You got to look back on it and have to have an appreciation and a love for getting into a situation like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, to the point, like, I got a DWI my second time, for Andy to call me in the middle of the night, like, I just want to check on you and I think you need to go do rehab. I'm like, and in my mind growing up as a kid, you like, I ain't going to no damn rehab. I can do this on my own. But actually was one of the best things that ever happened to me to go get therapy by someone that's certified, that been through the struggle and know what the hell they talking about. And when I got to there, man, to meet a hockey player, to meet a guy that owns 99% of the concrete in Canada, these people going through the same, their situation was way worse than mine. I'm like, okay, I'm actually doing pretty damn good. Get your shit together. When I got there, man, I must have slept for like 2 weeks, bro. That's how tired I was, I guess. You know what I'm saying? From college, winning that championship, all the way through that 6-7 year span of just going, and not taking a setback and taking a deep breath and a reset button. That's why I feel like rehab was a reset button for me. So right now I'm like at peace. Like everybody like, how you doing, man? Man, I feel fucking incredible right now. So I give a lot of respect to my therapist and Andy Reid for doing that, man, because I might wouldn't even be here right now. I'd probably be gone because of stress and depression and anxiety and, all the stuff that comes with the lifestyle that I was living, and then not playing the game anymore. When they take that from you, a lot of people be thinking like, you okay. Like, no, that's the hardest shit ever when you've been playing football since you was a little league football. And to say now I'm retired and that's gone out of my life, that's a tough thing to swallow for anybody. That's why you see, I hate to see some of my players out there commit suicide or some of the things they be going through. So I try to talk to people like, man, you might want to try therapy. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Go take mental health seriously, because if you don't, you might hurt your loved ones.
I think it gets to the point where it eats you alive a little bit too. And it's obviously going to affect more than, just yourself, your family,
Exactly. So I just try to make sure that I pass that message throughout the world, even though when I speak now, when I go out and speak, I even tell people at the end of the day, I say, I'll challenge each and last one of y'all in here. Every time you step out your house, give out positive energy. If you can do that, you're going to be great. Don't be these people out here with this negative energy. And everywhere you go, even when you're driving in traffic, oh my God, I'd be like, you can have it. Because I'm so at peace now. I probably been one of those guys, back in the day, I'd open my sunroof and throw pennies out and let that shit hit your car. That's what I used to do back in the day when I was an idiot, you know what I mean? But now I'm at a point in my life, like, why was you even doing that, dummy? Now you's putting out negative energy. So guess what you're gonna get back?
When, exactly was this point that kind of, made this shift for you?
What is about 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
I went to therapy in Malibu and 4 patients in the house. I thought that was incredible. That's when I started to learn how to cook. I'm a big chef now. I'm a golfer now. I know how to plant my own herbs and veggies. I know how to do all this stuff I learned, I didn't know that not having my father figure in my life was a trigger for me, that pissed me off, yelling at my wife, just doing negative things that I didn't know that was a trigger in my life. So we talked about these things, and she was like, well, Vince, I think you really need to go talk to your dad. I really feel like that's what's triggering you about a lot of your stuff in your life. I'm like, what? So, to have that conversation with my dad, to say, I forgive you, and ask him why. Why were you not here? To hear that from him directly, to have him in my life now, a little bit, not as much as I want, that I would love to, but to have those answers answered, I think that took a lot of pressure off me as well, too.
And I think as you really get a chance to look back and kind of reflect on yourself and your life and what kind of makes you tick in the right way or the wrong way and anything, to be able to really, take that time and do something like that. Like, props to you for making a step and being able to do that. And I think it's something that has obviously benefited you tremendously.
Yeah.
As you're going through your life now. I mean, it just seems to me obviously that you're in a great place, and even what you're saying right now, it's just about your attitude, your approach, and kind of how you are in your everyday life. It's gotta feel great to be able to be in that place.
Yeah, man, I'm winning again, even in golf. But that's a hard game to win in.
There's nothing like going to see your favorite sports teams play live and in person. The hype and the atmosphere is awesome. I love going to NBA games. No matter where I'm at on the road, I'm always down to catch a game, and GameTime makes it easy. If you're like me and you're always looking for tickets to the big event, check out the GameTime app and find the best seats and the best deals for all types of events. GameTime has tickets for concerts, shows, and sports, and they make it easy to find tickets. You can browse through deals on the GameTime picks and even check out the view from your seat before you buy. They also have amazing super deals that are such a bang for your buck. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime picks. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time. As we get back to the football side a little bit, as you get a chance and you leave Tennessee and you get to Philly, how was it being around, Andy Reid, Mike Vick, and getting into a new start in a fresh situation?
It was fun. It started off rough because I said the dream team, so they ran with that one.
It's funny. It's really easy to get yourself in trouble in the media side of things. It's just by...
So that took off. So I had to stand in front of the team and say, I apologize for this negative energy that the media, I didn't mean it like that. I mean it like, this is a dream team, all the talent we have, from Anande, from Samuel to Shady, from Sean Jackson, Mike Vick, Jason Peterson, what's my guy, the Kansas City tight end, his brother, Kelsey, my boy Kelsey. Like we had a stacked team. So I'm thinking like, yeah, this is a dream come true for a head coach. And then you got Andy Reid as the coach. So I'm thinking like, yeah, this is a dream team. But they ran with it and bashed me in the media. So I'm like, man, I got to deal with this. So we got that out the way, and then we wasn't winning. So that was the whole dream team. What they talk about still to this day. But I really felt like I met some really great guys too.
How was that quarterback room?
Man,
it had to be awesome.
Yeah, just being around Mike that I was already a fan of since I was a kid, and me and him best friends to this day. We chat, we check on each other. I'm so happy for him because he went through adversity as well too, and to see where he at today. He went through similarities of both of us, and to see him come out on the positive side as well. So we was in that meeting room laughing and joking, talking stories, and how was it in prison? We were talking about everything, and to be best friends and brothers to this day, which that's another good golfer. Scratch golfer, to learn from him and pick his brain and put some of his similarities and things that he had been through in life to help me too. I thought that was fun.
As you look at that team, you guys obviously have pieces to be able to go and make a run. What do you think went wrong with that season and the reason you guys didn't get to?
We just started late. Just like an NBA team, when you got all these factors, they don't hit to the last minute. So we start winning at the wrong time, and we went like an 8-game winning streak towards the end, and we was like a game short from making the playoffs, and I was like, dang, we almost had it, but in the same time to not able to make it to the playoffs, but I still feel like I got some great relationships with a lot of those guys that, again, we still stay in contact to this day. Man, Shady, Shady a clown. Keeping in contact with those guys, man, it's been really good because, that's what it's all about us football players, the chemistry that we have. And just to see everybody, successful, doing stuff on TV and real estate, got kids and family, doing good, man. That's the ultimate deal that you want for anybody. So I'm happy to see that as a brother to a lot of those guys.
You decide to, retire in 2014, a little bit, and then obviously decide you maybe going to play again in Canada. How was that process? And, what went into that decision? Just missing the game a little bit and trying to get
man,
back
like
into it?
first of all, you got me cut.
So that is a interesting story. My first day in the building, I remember us like passing each other in the hallway, and I didn't know the way that the league worked at the time, and that's how that went. So you were in Cleveland for that 2014 spring, right?
I was like, man, I get to play with Johnny. I get to mentor him and be around them. And they called me. It was like, Vince, you got to come in. I'm like, oh, here we go. So I go in there, and they like, Vince, man, we just want to let you know that, well, we're going to be cutting you, and we're going to be going forward with another guy, which was you. And I was like, dang. So I go home, packing up, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator at the time. He calling me like, why the hell you not in meetings? I'm like, what? They didn't tell you they cut me? He was pissed.
That's kind of a little bit how that whole situation in Cleveland was a little bit. Your offensive coordinator doesn't even know.
He didn't even know. Me and Fozzie Wizard, which he was pissed about Fozzie too, because he was our third down back that he wanted. Fozzie's a speedy guy, which, thank God he ended up getting picked up by Carolina. Coach didn't even know I was cut. That's how bad it was. Yeah. So obviously, I was a little upset, but I was happy because I see they not communicate. They don't communicate. Yeah. And before I got there, before I even signed with those guys, I asked them, can we make sure we have our communication lines open? They was like, yeah, Vince, yeah. It was a total opposite the last day. So it was a tough situation, but in the same time, I was happy for you. So, again, I was a big fan of you, and I'm pretty sure I knew you was going to come there anyway. They was all hyping it up. So I'm excited. Like, I get to play with my boy and also mentoring, but it didn't happen like that.
That would have been awesome. It would have been nice to have you in that room.
And just to let you know how they think. So I've been dealing with this. This is why I was like, I'm done playing with the NFL. You playing with me, like I'm doing everything, and then y'all always cut me the last day because you don't want to pay me, or I know I'm better than them damn quarterbacks you have. I'm still better than motherfuckers right now to this day out there that's playing. Both of us. So to this point, the game. I got tired of the game, the politics of it. So I was like, man, I'm done with this. Let me go, go get in this business world. Let me go do some other stuff. This is over for me. So that's another reason why I left the game.
Then you get the itch again a little bit?
Sometimes. I mean, when you got guys like Tom out there running around doing what he does, I'm like, if he can do that, I'll take a pay cut. Just make sure I got an O-line and somebody to throw it to, and I'll go out there and give you a couple series.
How was your Canadian football experience?
It was fun, man. And that's a different game. Yeah, it's a different game. Coach Jones was so cool. It was fun. The guys was fun. I had pulled my hamstring, and it was like, we have to cut you, but we want you to come back in 30 days. I said, what? If I go back across this water, I'm not coming back here. So it was crazy because, how everybody call you like, man, you should go do what Ricky Williams did or go do what Warren Moon. And I'm like, for what? I'm already established in the NFL. I'm 37. I'm 31 and 17. I have a winning record. I'm just dealing with the politics of this NFL stuff. I already can play this game. I know I can play this game. I got film to show you I can play this game, but I just didn't want to deal with that part of it. It was a total different world for me, which I'm very humble and professional, but in the same time, just tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it. They wasn't. They was just sending me around in circles and circles. So I just really got tired of playing that game.
It is tough when you see that side of it and how it is in the political side in the NFL. Obviously, when that's the biggest difference, I think, when you get from a college perspective when you get to the league. Obviously, you're at the highest point, but yeah. I think that's something that I think I struggle with a little bit is when you're playing out of the pure passion and love for the game as you're doing in college, and then getting to a point where, the money and everything else and that side of it changes a lot of.
And then if you don't have the coach that wants you, it's a lot goes with it, and so I, now that I have an opportunity to talk about it and mentor a lot of the younger guys and young ladies and everybody, I'm like, man, just make sure your foundation is right, and just give it all you have and play the game, kill them with kindness. That's what a lot of people taught me. Definitely Steve McNair taught me, kill them with kindness. And you should be all right,
As you get into a little bit of a different part of life now, you're on the other side of football. Obviously your son growing up, starting to play a little bit. I saw your post about him maybe being next up at Texas, obviously following Dad's footsteps.
Right.
How's it been being a dad in that situation, and obviously watching him, kind of get to a point of wanting to play sports and be in the mix a little bit?
Yeah, it's fun, man. He's a good kid. Him and my daughters, they some good kids, and just to have a son, to look up to you like that, like everything you do, he walk like you. One day I came home, he was laying in my bed with his shirt off. I'm like, boy, you better get your ass up out of my room. Rubbing his feet. Like, nigga, that's my side of the bed. You better get up out of there. But to see him growing as 14 years old, man, compared to where he came from, he was a little wild little boy. But for him to grow up to now, he's starting to get it. He's starting to understand, which a lot of people, I tell people, like, I don't try to coach him and, like those other parents out there in the world. I just want to be his dad. I'm proud of you, son. This is what you can do better. I'm more about the mental side of it that I never had with my dad. He has his own coaches, quarterback coach. If I see something, I'm always give it to him and throw it to him and let him know you can do this better. But I tell people, man, don't forget about the parent side of it. Be your kid, dad or mom. You know what I mean? Don't be trying to live through your kid. Your football, that stuff is over with. Mm-hmm. So when I go see my kids and go to the games, I'm like a parent, like, oh my God, I'm proud, I'm happy. I'm not talking a lot. I'm not doing all that stuff on the sideline. I'm letting them know, like, I'm proud of you, son. When we get in the car, hey, this is what you can do better. I'm gonna show you the film, and you can see it on your own. I'll let the coach be the coach, So I tell people, man, that's what I'm very proud of him about, like, mentally, the way he just came a long way, especially being the youngest in his group. The matureness that he is, that means that I'm actually doing something right on the parenting side.
It's obviously nice to have you have been through, what he's about to go through. Obviously, the recruitment side that he'll get into. Obviously, the way, the game is a little bit.
Yeah, buddy.
You want to see him end up at Texas eventually one day, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, Coach Brown gave him his little letter a long time ago when he was little. So, I stay out of that. I mean, everybody be messing with me about him, but I'll be like, you got to go talk to his mom. She's the agent. I'm just the driver that takes him around everywhere and make sure he has his clothes and shoes and paying for that large amount of damn tuition. That's my job. But if y'all want to talk to him about schools and can he come play with this team or that team, you're going to have to go talk to the agent, his mom. So I got to keep that out of my life, but I'm very proud of both, all my kids, though.
How's life been? Obviously, getting a chance to go back, work for your alma mater, be involved in the Texas, football program, and what their, success has been now.
Well, I try to just to make sure I represent them in the right way. I took a lot of things from Earl Campbell. Earl being an ambassador for the University of Texas for a generation of years. He carried himself the right way. That's why he has an opportunity to be who he is. I mean, the things that he's doing off the field, in business, the way he carries himself, the way he always say hello to everybody, take pictures. So I try to represent just like him and the way the university want to be represented. So I really do appreciate a lot of my UT fans and alumni when they come up to me and they say they're very proud of me and they love the way I represent the university. So, I try to do that every day. Every time I step out my house, that I'm representing not only just my family and friends, but I also try to make sure the state of Texas, period, as well as the university, I try to represent them in the right way.
I got a chance, being from Tyler, Texas, to know Earl Campbell and just how special of an individual and special of a person he is, even at his age now.
Big Earl.
I think if you look around of anybody to kind of model yourself after and be able to be like, he's truly one of the greats and one of the most amazing people you can get around, not to mention, in his day, one of the best football players we've probably ever seen.
So watching those highlights, the one that they ripped his jersey off and he kept running still, that's to let you know what type of guy he was back in the day. But yeah, he's a truly great guy, man, and I'm blessed to have him as a mentor in my life.
Obviously you're staying busy, a lot of other business ventures going on, the steakhouse, Flip Block. Are there any other goals you think that you've set for yourself or, where you kind of want to take your life on the business side moving forward?
Well, yeah, man, the steakhouse been 14 years.
14 years.
So that was an ultimate blessing because you know how it is with athletes having restaurants. Sometimes it goes well and sometimes it goes bad. So to have a really good team, for Phil and Laura, love them to death. You know, I'm happy about that business venture. Flip Lock, man, I just got involved with that with school safety, man. And it's very important to me because when I drop my kid off at school, I'm all about safety. Like with all these school shootings, it's no protocol, which is absurd to me because everybody knows what to do when it's a fire drill, but don't nobody know what to do when it's a school shooting. I got a part of that team with Flip Lock with the Rigger family team and just trying to make sure every classroom is a safe room. You know, when my daughter tells me that they tell her to stack desks or run to a church, that is unacceptable to me. So I got involved with Flip Lock to, you know, try to make sure, you know, not just in Texas, but across the world that we can make these classrooms a safe room for these kids because teachers and kids are scared to go to school and kids don't want to learn anymore because they're frightened about a school shooting, which is bad. So I got involved with that and I think it's going really well. So, you know, I want to be a part of things like that business-wise that it can help people in major ways. So, you know, doing that and finna do pickle and wings. That's going to be fun. You know, pickleball has took off to a whole nother level.
It has.
And to have an opportunity to be a part of a group, to be a partner on a team, that's going to be fun, building those and, you know, going to different tournaments and me getting involved with pickleball.
You play yourself?
I played once. I'm still tired from that shit, though. But it was fun, though. So to be a part of that, I think that's going to be cool. So, you know, things like that and Crunch Fitness gyms and building gyms across Central Texas. I've been a part of that team. You know, that's been fun, to teaching health and wellness, to talk to people that never been in the gym before ever in their life because they just don't feel comfortable going because they feel like somebody's going to talk about them or hurt their feelings and things like that, and have an opportunity to go to the grand openings and be like, hey, man, it's okay. You know, it's no, on our wall, it says no judgment here. We want you to take care of your health. We want you to be able to live past 45, 50, and 60. And the only way you can do that is taking care of your health and wellness. And if it's just walking or coming here for 30, 45 minutes a day, that stuff goes a long way with your life instead of just sitting on the couch eating all this bad food, but not doing anything with it. So being a part of Crunch Fitness has been really great with our team there. So, and then my venture on real estate, you know, you can do real estate for the rest of your life.
No doubt. You're definitely keeping yourself active in a bunch of different lanes of business.
Yeah, it's fun. And again, it's good to have a team, though. Like a lot of people like, yeah, you got so much going on. But I'm like, I have an operation.
Great people around you.
People around me. So everybody plays their role, and I play my role well.
No, you gotta be the best VY you can be for that
You
role.
gotta be the quarterback, baby.
How would you like to be remembered when it's all said and done, whether as a football player or just as a person?
Man. Just a down-to-earth guy, man. Just very humble. A guy that's always a giver, man. Like, not speaking of money, I'm saying like any information and knowledge I can give. You know, I learned so much in my 41 years, and I still got a lot more to learn. So if I have an opportunity to be in front of anybody, kids or adults, I'm always try to give them my testimony of my life. So I can honestly say just being humble and goofy is my thing.
if you could do one thing differently looking back on your career, you know, what do you think it would have been?
Nothing. That's my career. That's my life.
I feel the same way about kind of my journey and what it was. You know, as much as it didn't always go exactly the way that I would have wanted to, you know, I'm still in an amazing position to be able to, you know, live a great life, have a great family, you know, be able to have the opportunity at 30, 31, 32 years old to still be able to be, you know, myself and have a hell of a ride and a hell of a journey along the way. You know, I try to, you know, not look back on it too much and dwell or think about doing anything differently because it went the way that it went.
I mean, it's a lot of things that anybody, human being across the world, even a damn dog, wish they could change, but it don't happen like that. We don't get to press the reset button and go live, you know, 16, 17 again. So we have to, you know, take our bumps and bruises and learn from those mistakes and try to continue to get better as a person, which we both have and anybody across the world have. You know, we still got some people out there that need Jesus, but those people, you know, There's nothing you can do about that. The only person you can focus is on yourself. And then when you come in contact with somebody, try to leave them with some positive energy to help them go continue to be successful and be the same person, like energy-wise, to the next person, because our world right now is off the chain. And
It's different.
It's different. And when you go out the country, you know, it's way different there. People are really nice. People are talking. But once you come back across the border back here in customs, they go to attitude again. So I try to, every day when I step out my household, that's why I say, man, you're going to always get the goofy, VY, humble, and positive energy guy. Even when it's negative energy around me, I'm going to be like, I'm going to go to the restroom, I'll be back. And I won't come back. I dismiss myself from that energy, you know what I'm saying?
Just remove yourself from the situation.
Exactly.
Altogether.
So I just want to continue to be that guy, humble, goofy, and positive energy. I'll leave that to my people out there in the world.
Yeah. Well, more than anything, bro, I appreciate you coming on, obviously, you know, and all your business and all the stuff you're doing now with raising your family, your kids, everything. You know, I wish you nothing but the best in this life. You know, obviously we'll get a chance to, you know, still cross paths, play some golf, and be able to to still be boys. But more than anything, taking the time out of your day to come on Glory Days. Obviously, tell a little bit about your story. It's amazing to hear, you know, where you've got to, how your outlook on life is, and just how you are as a person. It's the best. VY, my guy.
Welcome. Gig 'em.